But now, game number 2 on the day will start. Again, somewhat decent playing for all these Western teams. Of course, not that much, but don't have that many of them. At least for the most Western teams, they have an alternative and an Eastern place to go to.
Nice and easy for both Unity and Northern Lights, though. They're not going to complain. Same for Desperados as well, alongside Tornado.
Complain? Plain?
Oh, Toby. Oh, Toby.
My humor is so awful. I'm sorry, guys. But nonetheless, the plane is making its way over Erangel. And as we can see, no big surprises. Would assume to see Besiktas jump East Coast once more. Yep, that's what they're heading on forward to. And yeah, not really. I mean, again, we've come to a point at which everyone knows where they want to go, and no one's really contesting each other. So not a whole lot of excitement there. You see Erangel up towards Severny, but no, they're going towards Sagi. Trying to make it exciting for a second, but nope, guys, ain't gonna happen. What is gonna happen though? Is that Ubi guy's gonna say, Calvin, you think you're gonna get my vehicle? No. And then he just runs him over.
Oh no, that's not a start Desperados would have wanted any day of the week. And Unique will go, that's a free kill. We didn't even have to shoot anything. We'll just drive on back around now. No problems at all. Very eastern. We've gone far west, far east, and now we're going to see 4 different teams within this circle straight off the bat.
We did have 2 similar circles yesterday. They were further north. Like you could sit all the way up by Stalber in one of them too. So they were further north, but way out east. And so these teams, obviously, they have fought not only in this area before, because I assume all these teams have fought in all kinds of circles at this point, but they've also fought each other in this area before. And is that going to mean that you know what's going to happen where teams are expected to be? Or are teams going to say, oh no, they know what we're going to do here, let's do something different, and then mess it up for themselves?
I personally love Unity now, sitting over and wait and see how Northern Lights try their rotation. See if they're going to come that way, because they don't have to move right. You can just sit there on the edge or just camp the bridge, for example, wait to see what other teams move out away from the bridge, and let Northern Lights be kind of like your test dummies with it.
Yeah. I would not expect for Northern Lights to go all the way west coast over the bridge, but I mean, it's at the same time, it's one of those things where you know that you have Unity sitting in on the eastern side, right? You have Unique on the other side. And for circles like these are probably the worst circles for this sort of team, where it's like, where are they? What's the plan here, guys? Because they're everywhere right now.
And the other thing is as well, we've had military circles, but Northern Lights haven't always been there. This is only on the last day or so that they've kind of come back into it, which means they're not completely confident on what timings Unity's going to be making these rotations or how they're going to look to do it.
I mean, the thing is, they can sit and hope that they can just rotate really late and everybody will have moved. But because the circle is so far south, Milta is going to be contested later on. Farm is still going to have teams in it. So there will be people down here. I mean, it's like, if we wait long enough, they'll move away. No, now it's if we wait long enough, there'll be more teams. And that's just the counter opposite of what you want to have happen.
Nobody wants to see that, not at all. Very interesting, though, is like, okay, it is a Far East circle, but you have so much empty space over towards the east that at least for teams like 3D Max and Seacorp, they can both take, rather than where this contested northern side is, they can go all the way down south and work their way around if they want to avoid the teams like Zen, Reciprocity, and just kind of bypass Unique at this point.
It'll be interesting to see how they do decide to make the rotation on in. For everyone else, it's not really that complicated. I mean, some of the usual, I guess you can say, go-to spots when it comes to scouting further forward, at least for now, they're completely open. We're talking Volcano, we're talking Potato Hill. Nobody really opting to go for those spots early on to try and see if they can contest anyone rotating on in. So whoever decides to go first should have plenty of room, at least, to maneuver their way forward. But of course, it's for those teams that decide to come in later. Should the next circle go even further out east, it's going to limit the opportunities for rotations by quite a margin.
Now, Seacorp is a team that, okay, yesterday we saw better games out of him in terms of kills. Not so many ideal placements, at least for him. Just today, the first game to start things off of, they walked into the firing squad of Erangel and got picked apart. They are a team that's certainly going to be wanting to step up with a few more key games here. But they have not had a lot of circles come their way. And this crate, it's very far out. I very much doubt anyone's going to go for it. May as well just sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, it's a Groza with a tech stock. It's... I mean, sure, the level 3 helmet and vest are nice to get, but... I think you're going to get disappointed if you spent this much time trying to go out for this crate. I mean, that's...
Imagine if they did as well. It's like, I'm going to get the boat, I'll go for the crate. No one else is going to... Oh, what? What did I get?
That's probably not going to be worth the run in the long term. But then again, I mean, if you're sitting multi-power already and you spot it, well, why not? If you know for a fact that the 3 remaining players in your team have a compound close to where you want to get to the boat, that's a free level 3 helmet at least. And a vest.
No, already Tornado looking for some control around Milta.
Yeah.
And the question is how they deal with the very close team of 7, but also Desperados who have moved up into it. Desperados previously being towards Farm and on the western side of it all, now have come around and they're just ahead of them. So it means Tornado just need to keep themselves going, right? Don't poke out unnecessarily here.
For Tornado, for 7, and for Desperado, this is their area. This is their terrain. And we've seen the games here before, and it's kind of been the similar splits as they've set themselves into. Never really forcing fights with each other early on. And now we do see Desperado shooting down towards Tornado. But I mean, again, commit to these spots for now, but get as much info as you can on as to where everyone else is around you. Because once you have to start rotating, if you have to start rotating north, you have to know where people can sort of lurk around and wait for you, because you do not want to get ambushed early on. We've seen some of these teams lose players way too early, where they could just have made the rotation 100 meters wider, had they known that there were players there.
Rita firing off some shots towards Haxetti. And jump back on the bike and continue the hunt down. Haxetti continuing to take further damage as well. He needs to be ever so cautious, because if Rita just decides to follow him, jump out and shoot him down, there is an option for her here. As Besiktas is going to start off with the first kill for themselves. And there you have had a couple of games now where we can say Besiktas, they've started. They've actually come on the scoreboards and said, we'll get some additional kills here. We'll be able to fight it all out.
Yeah, exactly. They've been rotating from the northeast. I don't think that Insolenzo and Quick Math were expecting them to be this far out towards the water, so they thought they were going to get the safe wide eastern rotation. But in the end, there was a team there to join him. And as I said, that they weren't fighting each other just before. I guess I was wrong, because Millman has just gone down, and we're talking about these unnecessary deaths. Millman went out in the open, tried to scout the compound next to him, and well, it cost him his life.
You can always get a little bit too greedy, right? You get picked apart and you give yourself a chance for your team to go down and not have a good advantage going into it.
Yeah.
And that means that this little bit of area, okay, the contestment, means that other teams might try and challenge them knowing they've gone down a player.
It's kind of interesting to see if we look at the center of the map. This is exact same 4-team split we saw yesterday. We saw Inside Games sit in the compound, Reciprocity sitting on what I like to call half pipe, just in the eastern side of prison. Then you have We Need a Home sitting on the other side, the game where they got 15 kills and a win, by the way. And Sukdetnam out towards Shelter. So a little Orion's belt in the aspect of teams going on there. And then Besiktas setting up shop in what I believe would be one of the better compounds in this circle. They're going to be sticking around here for a little while at least, until that net circle gets popped.
Now, if you are watching the map screen, one interesting point that me and Toby mentioned earlier on is how the military-based team in Northern Lights are going to rotate out. Now, they did go out west. They went through the blue, and they'll take this safer route in their eyes, so they don't have to bridge cross where there's potential a few teams there ready and waiting for them. They're going to be joining up with teams of 3D Max, though, just pushing their way in now, and Avangard still within that blue.
And they're doing it smart, right? Because the circle is so far out east that they know that the majority of teams will have gone as center as they could, close to the water, which means that the entire farm area, most likely the area around Potato, is going to be open, so they have plenty of room to rotate. Now, they could run into 3D Max. You see Wacko jumping out there trying to get some info. But wise rotationing coming from them. Good call on you for them to go over to the west side.
Now, there is this, like you said, the space on this west side that's going to work out for a lot of teams for now, as long as they can split it up semi-evenly as we see across it. Unique are bridge camping, hoping they would have seen a team come around it, but it is being bypassed by Northern Lights overall. This next circle is going to be interesting because it could go closer out to the water, and it does kind of go a little bit south, but also massively on Milta Power and Milta itself. So a few teams are already within it, but Besiktas now have to squeeze themselves in. So does Seacorg, Avangard, Stella, 3D Max, and Northern Lights. They've all got to find room inside a space that does not have a lot of landmass left.
It's funny how, I don't know, I mean, I know that these circles are completely random, but I feel like every single time we have these eastern circles, they always jump down towards Lumber Mill.
It's the power.
It just always happens. It always happens. They always go south. And teams are ready for it. I mean, you saw teams committing really far south. Like, yeah, but it's going to come down to us anyway. It always happens. And, well, now it does again.
The radiation draws in the circle.
That's what it is, of course.
Simulation
Circle
confirmed.
magnets. Yeah, exactly. Milta Power is the magnet of circles. No, but of course, that's not the case. Unique, trying to see if they can find themselves a spot to get a better view of what's going on inside the circle. They, of course, are inside themselves, but don't want to sit this close to the water, at least not for now, because, of course, we do know that in a short while it should shift away from it.
Oh, okay. Nicely done by Kamka. Gets a little bit of a spray down onto him, but it's 7 that'll pick up the knock and the kill. Kamka well aware of what was going on, and Scream's going to be the first one down. Hacksetti's been knocked as well. And once again, Reciprocity not coming off to a good start.
And this is what we were talking about in the previous game too. Why would Scoom be all the way down there if they had a chance to scout it, right? It's a unfortunate situation for them to be in, losing a guy this early on. But I mean, as ironic as it sounds, it's actually, at least for some teams, better to lose your in-game leader early on, because then he'll have the chance to sit around, look at all the players playing, and kind of have a chance to guard his, or sort of guide his troops and maneuver them around from a more overall overview perspective.
Yeah, playing with his toy soldiers, so to speak. As Sigzy going in for a few good shots there, and Kaz helping him out. Tom Hill's going to get knocked down, and Besiktas going to have a little bit of a problem with them own to deal with, as Ultra's also going to eat it from Moleman.
Moleman, nice shots coming in there, getting himself the knock on towards Ultra. And Besiktas and Stella, I mean, despite the fact that they loot very far away from each other, they have a tendency of not necessarily fighting each other, but just always kind of rubbing their shoulders against one another and trying to sort of push each other away.
And Besiktas going to struggle with getting any of these reses up. Simsy took some damage as well, and they are pretty much pinned down here from either side. Yeah. They're trying to use that little bit of a dip to their advantage behind the hill, but it's not going to work out just yet. They're still quite visible from a fair few teams.
And the thing is, that spot they just took right there, there's actually only one spot you can go to that's going to counter it, and that's exactly where Inside Games is sitting. They're like, we thought we had a spot here, Inside Games. Why do you sit all the way out by Mil to Power when all we wanted was to just lay low here and wait for the next circle?
Now, Avangard, Maxazor still not in the circle just yet. Okay, it's only at phase 2, but Avangard just biding their time. They're not trying to push anywhere just yet, and they're hanging up towards the north. They're going to try and rotate round it once again, because they've realized there's just not enough space up there.
I think what Avangard is going to do now is, you see Maxazor, well, he's actually running around and looting. He's not caring at all about this circle. He's waiting for the next one. If it hard shifts to one side, that's when you make your decision. You don't want to commit in now. It's so late, sorry. It's so late in this one. All the teams have already found their place to lay low. 5 seconds to go. Wait on the edge like they're doing right now. Wait, you see Maxazor is making his way in now. Hit the circle at the time of the new circle pushing or showing. Boom, that's when you go. And good luck, guys, because it's not going to be easy to get out there.
Wow, once again focusing on Mil to Power. Now Unity in such a good spot here.
Yeah, they're pretty much dead center of the next circle, most likely at least.
Seacorg not too far away. Unique gone over towards the southwest. 3D Max finding their way in only just now from the Milta position, so did kind of benefit them as well. Reciprocity have got themselves in, but it's not going to be massive amounts of cover from that position. It's going to be a bit of a struggled fight, and already Zen finding Desperado straight on their rotation in the vehicle, trying to make their way down, and this is going to be very difficult for them to deal with.
Besiktas out of options, full committing towards the area in the middle, but they ain't gonna get it. Blaston says, thank you, Lux. I will take myself a free kill, and these shots are just continuously being connected by multiple teams. Seagull trying to make the run on over and contest, but both Ballas and Ferris goes down immediately.
When two players in Sunday and Blaston are hitting shots like that, you do not want to be in the open. My, oh my. All these players running across, and they weren't missing a beat.
Not at all. Ness trying to throw a nade in towards Orange. No does manage to get out. Smart reaction, a good reaction from him coming in there. But for Ness and for Sunsea, one underhand thrown nade over that wall is going to be the death of them.
Difficult position for them to find themselves in. Straight off this rotate, Orange Snow jumps up, spots out Ness, knows exactly where he is, can wait for his teammates to come through. More nades barreling out towards him, but at the same time Stella start to wake their way in, and Molman, he's under fire. Kaz has been knocked as well. Stella, it's not worked out for him, but Seacorg are going to be the first team that are eliminated here.
Double nade comes in to finish him off. Not a whole lot more to it. Stella as well now saying, well, you hold that one team, can you take this next one as well? Kaz, 60, they're under so much fire from multiple teams, and Jamboree and 60 I believe now. Yep, the only two remaining players alive. Caesarin, oh, can't get through there, gotta go way around. You're not that thin.
Put on a few pounds over Christmas, trying to jump the gap, and went, I thought this worked before. But Stella go down, and they again tried to roll up on the compound. They wanted to take some space here, but it was already completely on lockdown. And what's impressive here from Unity is they've kept us on lockdown. It's a big area to hold just for 4 players, and each side they've been able to hold off.
Avangard tried to get in from the south. Surprising to me, thought they would go further north, but that is not happening. Eki with the throw nade, that's a triple kill for him. And Avangard completely torn to pieces.
And Zen, they were not holding back there. There was an extra 3 or 4 nades after they'd been eliminated. They were ready for it. They were being completely, we're not taking any risks here. They are going to go down, and now we can continue to push forward. Now we need a home. Reciprocity and Zen all close by to each other.
And this is the thing, right? Because normally when we lose X amount of players early, we don't really lose teams.
No.
So for this one, only 43 players alive in Circle 3. We've had moments earlier where we've had 16, 17 minutes in, we still have 62 players alive. There's going to be so much room now, technically, like player per square meter wise, but because this area is so open, it's going to be so hard to play around. Look at where this circle is going. 3D Max, they knew it was going to happen, and they have to make a long, long push across in the open. Fortunately, they do have bikes, you see it right down there, but it's going to be a long push, and it's going to be a dangerous one because they have had a hard time scouting any sort of open spot for them to go to.
Now we saw Zen just a little bit ago take down Erangel. They were more out in the open. They got third party, well, double teamed basically by We Need a Home and Reciprocity there, so they weren't able to do anything more with it. They've got 2 players who got knocked down. They're going to have to struggle this because even Desperados are firing onto them. They're just like the shooting targets at the moment because they don't have anywhere to sit.
Simpsy has been alone for a while, and he is once again. Look at this, the entire... No, shoots a little early. Sam Peak wasn't even going to peek that angle, but now he knows for sure where he is, and that's unfortunate. He had to start shooting. He knew it was going to come around the corner. He heard the bike too, and unfortunately, they weren't able to connect the shots needed.
Yeah, we talk about trigger discipline. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to do. You saw him.
Yeah.
He poked back. Timing didn't work out. Thought he'd be able to get it, and Besiktas, the next team out of it.
And also, I mean, for him, right, had it been 10 meters away and he saw him with his back turned, probably wouldn't have shot. But because he was literally 1 meter in front of him, you just got to start shooting, right? Comes popping out of nowhere like that. Gets himself some cover.
Yeah, this is going to be rough, right? Noki just trying to put the car in a good position. The shot's still coming out towards them. 3D Max want another good game, right? They can't afford to go back to just being eliminated early on here.
No, off of a win, you always want to sort of keep it going. But then again, I mean, at the same time, you sometimes see winners go 16th the following game. Now, of course, that's not going to happen. But for Miacho, SLR in hand, we know it's a dangerous weapon. And now shots are fired, and Perfectus gets the first knock.
That was beautiful as well. Perfectus took the first one. They all start shooting back at the same time. Lipson able to reply, though, and he's coming from behind. This is huge, but can OK Bro do anything from here? Absolutely pivotal position from Lipson. Far away, able to do the sneaky play, and they should have never been able to allow us to happen. Lipson now out in his own, going to drop some smokes down, but he's already done the damage. He's pushed him away, at least for now.
Why is Lipson shooting, though? That's the big question, because he's all alone. His entire team is further down, and they were resting. They were trying to keep each other up, and for Northern Lights, well, I mean, they sure got gifted a free one right there.
Nitro will be found by Quick Math. 7 also shooting up there. There's many teams joining in on this, just trying to take the random shot through the smoke and hoping they can make him connect.
Buster, he has a perfect angle up the hill. There's no foliage, there's no nothing. It's just big hills, and the only thing they have for cover is trees. And, well, one smoke too.
Now, interestingly enough, inside games, just on the edge of Milter Power, just joining in with Unity to fire onto 3D Max. Zen and Reciprocity are still fighting off here.
Yeah, Sukted now just full on committed, crashing down towards the Reciprocity. It's pretty interesting. They just smashed the vehicle into the tower. Right there, see Aki and Page downstairs, both of them trying to hold anything they can. They still have Vasco and Ivel outside with a chance to shoot uphill, but for Shiv and for Hexedi, they just have to lay low for now. They cannot start peeking windows here.
Now, interestingly enough, Zen still has 4 players left alive, despite having multiple teams firing on them and not having a lot of cover. So this makes sense why they at least try to run straight on in and get some ground to play with here. But they are now a bit split up, so they've got to be careful still, because we need a home and very close by. Now, Rafi's position, very interesting for him. He's like, okay, there's not too much I can do from here. I'm pretty pinned down, but are they fully aware that I'm here?
This game really, really wants Unity to get themselves their 4th win, because the circle just hard shifted right down on top of their heads. Eki pushing in, gets himself 1 knock. They took out Hexedi as well, I believe. I'm sure looking around for him, but nope, he's actually downstairs still. There you go. Downstairs and alive, at least for now, but multiple players with a chance of getting him down. You can see it's not a lot of cover, yes, but fortunately for right now, at least, Rita and We Need a Home, they're focusing elsewhere.
Sprays nicely on dive. We're going to go straight in for the kill. Hexedi spraying away, but doesn't want to give away his position completely in the sense that I'm still firing and I'm ready for you to come get me. Aki comes around the corner. Oh, nicely done by Hexedi. So lucky to get that second one. The Page was there to finish him off and get the kill. Zen, that could have been devastating.
I was just about to say, Eki, why, oh why are you doing this on your own? But Page fortunately there with the refrag. Very wisely played by them.
Now it's all up to Rafi, who was just sat behind that car. He's also getting shot at by 7 at the same time.
What a reaction from Play With Me. Look for one. Oh, he's not. Doesn't matter. Don't need to focus him. 180s and gets down Calvin. No, not Calvin. It was Coldemans, I believe.
11th place for Reciprocity again.
Not what you want to have happen. We know they're a good fragging team. They can do these sort of things. They got themselves into 4th place last game. And unfortunately, not a whole lot more to it this time around.
Zen now got themselves the tower, looking to do some damage long range. Continuing to fire up on and get some extra kills here. 7 already, and Vasku doesn't want to slow down.
Of course not, they need to get inside the circle. It's hard push for them. They have 3 guys alive. While Derek tries to make the final push on in, but ain't gonna happen. Krabik says, nope, you ain't getting closer to my building, that's for sure. Play With Me taking down that far out, and Teaserin once again getting active in the kill feed. So much damage done last game, and for Vasku, well,
oh no,
this ain't good. Have to heal now. That's not gonna be enough time. You're going down.
Vasku, very unfortunate there. The car spun out of control into the circle and into more damage coming his way. Now Zen with just 2 players left alive as Hidrik's been picked off by Orange Snow and 3D Max. They've been trying to hang on to the edge, but without much cover, they are being picked apart once again. Quick Math down in 9th, and we've only got 8 teams remaining.
This is so interesting. 24 alive. A lot of teams having multiple players up and running. Majority of teams actually having all players alive, or something close to it. I believe we have 3 teams with 4 guys alive, and everyone else having 3. And we can see that it's right there. Thank you, James, for pointing that out.
3D Max back to a solo player, but it's Wago this time, not Phantom. Tornado, they're holding on. They've got 3 to play with. They are all together, so they can hope that other teams start to try and push into them, or try and give them a bit of a fight that they can push back with. It's 7 Esports that are close by, and they are firing off some nades towards them, but nothing's connecting just yet.
Northern Lights, they have a chance to do something from here. They need to cross the road, but that's going to be their main concern. They have to somehow figure where, oh where, can we get any sort of cover, because this right here is what's happening if we start moving towards the Milton Power area.
Orange Snow looking to get the nades out. He's heard and seen where these cars have gone. Can try and pick his teammate up during this point as well to keep all the numbers in their favor.
Krabik wants to throw nade on the back of the house.
Good
He knows they're down there. Oh, X-Team down to so low HP, but somehow stays alive.
That was huge. The timing of that nade from Krabik was literally the moment they all pushed out the house.
Very well done by him. Bike down to low HP. Another bike is smoking as well. The only point for them is going to be the US, or the Dasha, I mean. But you do not want to get yourself inside a vehicle at this point in the game.
Yeah, a little bit too risky there. Inside Games once again tried to pull up on the compound. They just ran straight round. Wago's made his way into the circle now, proned and ready. And this is interesting. Unity have had 4 different teams, one by one, pull up on them. And they've just been dealing with it oh so well.
Pixel around the backside is still alive somehow. The 4th team to try to make their way inside of Milton Power, but this time helped by the fact that not a whole lot of teams were shooting at them from outside. So do manage to stay put for now. Kumput and Kamka as well, starting to steal some damage from Tornado Energy. They've been kind of slumping around the last couple of days. Now they have a chance to do something here.
Once again, Unity up on the board. Zen get eliminated, and Tizerin takes down Page as the final player. 5 kills for Blast on, 10 kills in total, nearly 11 for Unity as they continue to deal the damage. Only Zampeak remains. Dastish is on the hunt. Orange Snow coming around the side. They can pull this off at the same time and cause the spray down.
They've just been holding off every single player trying to make their way in. Stamps now taken down. 3D Max saying, we'll take that point. Throwing nades over the wall, trying to make some room for himself and to push on forward.
It's a very difficult push for them to deal with. Dastish also trying to force him out with the Molotov as Krabik continuing to deliver damage and now getting the kills as well. Starting off with the one onto combo, and it's all coming down just that there's a little bit of timing and spacing to play with. Dastish just not ready to pull over just yet.
Such a sneaky play coming in from 7, trying to push around the backside there and get control. Pixel, nades throwing everywhere he can, trying to do as much damage as possible, but somehow Dastish is still alive. Can peek now. Second nade. Oh, just bounces too far.
Gets himself up. That's 75 health as Wago's going to pick him off. This is not ideal for Zampeak. Lots of damage being done there by 3D Max. Inside Games get eliminated.
Zampeak killed Pixel.
Was that because he had an 8 health?
Yeah, he had a nade help when he got knocked and then he couldn't get out of it. Oh, that's an unfortunate way to go down. But of course, that's just how it is. And okay, bro, now it's going to be one of the guys in focus as he, alongside the last remaining player in Perfectix from Northern Lights, try to stay put here.
Now, you still need to be aware that Wago actually joined in on that fight because they're not fully sure where he is. Orange Snow taken down. They've got some cover going on here. Blaston can't get the high ground enough just yet to take those extra shots. Looking for some more damage to be done. And 7 line up for him. He's spraying them down, tapping them down. A lot of damage, but no knocks just yet.
And look at the refrag, the immediate refrag coming from Unity. They're just playing it so well in the last couple of games that we've seen them.
Going over to try and bring Orange Snow back up. Tizzering up in the house as well, looking to have at least the high ground, have a good overview of everything else that's going on around him, and also take a hear and listen out to where some of the other actions happen.
Rainis wants to come around the corner, get some controls, fuck one out, and he does manage to get himself a knock onto X team.
Good damage being done there. Can he find himself the second player? Tornado are close by. Kamka's just trying to bide his time, work his way around. He knows that some of these other teams might be going down soon, and it's points that's really going to matter to him. As 7 come into this, they start on to Drainies. They're looking in for the next. A lot of damage from the nades coming in. Standard's able to reply, and he's able to get some kills in here. Yubica helping him out, and 7, they're under some heavy pressure. They focus too much on Tornado, and Yubica's looking to get the additional kills.
So much shots being fired all over the place. Now it's just one player remaining from 7 inside the wall, and somehow in all of this, Wago has been allowed to stay on the eastern side of the road. It has hard shifted over in that direction so many times, and for him to be able to stay put and get a 4th place for his team is saying, ha, Phantom, you're not the only one who can do this. I can do it too.
And the thing is with Wago, he's not even been quiet. He's taken shots and he's thrown grenades. He's made his position known, but he's been left into it. And this circle's not too far away from it. It's easy for him to crawl up into.
I say easy, but Dastis is holding the angle. Everyone knows there's still one player on the other side of the road, and for Wago, it's going to be an interesting push across, that's for sure.
He can just sit on the edge.
Can he, though? Will they be able to see his head, maybe, with the high ground position? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But he is really close, that's for sure.
Now Drainies working his way around, looking for someone to poke out. Yubica going the long way around, just going to go and peer around the south side. Unity now, they're all collectively more together this time. 3 players on the ground, Tizzering just up in the house on his own. Low and steady's going to win the race here.
You want to get as much info as you can. No reason to over-aggress. Everybody right now has some cover to deal with, and wait till you get that circle that forces the other guys out. Sure, you want to get more kills, but nobody's going to be fighting before they're forced to go.
Wago jumped up. Wago's making a little bit of a run for it.
He realizes now, I do not have a place to lay low over here. I need to do something. But you can see Dastis, he's just waiting for it. Shots now fired over in his direction, spot at the top of his head. And that just means that all of Unity now, I would assume to see, is going to say, well, we know where to focus. That's over here. Because he'll be the first guy to be forced to move.
Shots come out towards him. Wago's still trying to play it smart. They know exactly where he is, and that circle's going to start to come in now.
Could be just moments away from a couple of nades going in his direction, too. There's only so many places he can really be in. I would highly doubt that he has any smokes remaining, since he hasn't thrown any yet. Ooh, we can now be able to spot him out too. Everybody has their eyes on Wago, and he's just tanking it, sprays to the air, saying, sorry guys, I did my best, but fault is where we'll go down.
So frustrated, you could tell. He was like, I just want to hang him for a little bit longer.
Nobody was fighting. Everyone focused on him. Not a whole lot more to it than that. Edelweiss as well. Solo player remaining. Trying to get some points for 7. While Unique, also quite far down the list as far as I remember, trying to take down the seemingly day 2 powerhouse in Unity.
Yeah, Unity looking at strong games to start off this day. Second place just gone. Only 3 teams remain in this, and they are the ones with a massive advantage here.
Unity had, what was it, 2 wins yesterday and 1 win the day prior. Could get themselves their 4th, and they got a 2nd place last game as well.
Smoke's going up, and Unique trying to play it smart by moving forward. Tizerin at least does some damage onto Drainies, so he's going to have an idea that he is pushing forward. How are Unity going to deal with this? Unique, they want to try and get the drop on him, but going over the wall is going to be more than difficult.
The game is going to end, I can tell you, from the little dot in the middle. It's going to end on the inside of the wall. So at some point, Drainies, Ubica, and Stanton has to cross in. Stanton tried to, ain't gonna work.
Oh, nicely done there by Drainies. Gets himself the first. Orange Snow right on the other side, but he doesn't know it just yet.
It's that vaulting animation that's going to get them killed, because when they're doing that, they cannot shoot, and it's going to be so difficult. You see, he's trying to jump up, find anywhere to get into a spot where he can peek above. Ooh, Orange might have the angle on him. Spots him, and Drainies is forced back down.
And Orange Snow doesn't want to overextend as well, because if he went down as well, they'd be in a real rough position to try and fight from. Drainies, he needs to do something huge here.
Him and Ubica. Right now, the focus is on one player. Ooh, Drainies might be able to do something here. Ubica needs to get around the angle and sort of distract them all, though, because they're not going to be crossing over, that's for sure.
And this circle is getting tight. Drainies is soon going to be taking some damage. How does he know what to do? The communication's going to have to be on point. First few shots fired off. Ubica tries to hold on. He's looking to see if anyone else is going to vault over. He just spots. Oh, how did he not see that? He saw Tizerin. He could have taken... He could have taken down Tizerin. He missed his opportunity. Now he's going to take some circle damage. He can't afford to sit there and stand it. Dash just finishes him off. Drainies goes down next, and a very solid play. 16 kills and our highest